Let n be the positive integer 777777 and so on, which has 313 digits where all of them are 7. Let f of r be the leading digit of the rth root of n. So for example, f of 2 would be the leading digit of the square roots of 777, right? And so on. And so on for f of 3 and f of 4 and f of 5 and f of 6. What is the sum of all of those? Okay. Remember that there are 313 digits. Okay. Here's an example where we can use scientific notation to make things a little easier on ourselves, right? We can rewrite 777 and so on. Since it has 313 digits, we can write it as 7.77777 times 10 to the, right, 312, because there are 312 trailing sevens after the first 7. So that gives us that. And if we take the square roots, then that's the same as square root of 7.777, right? And then times 10 to the, we can take out the 10 to the 312, take the square root, that's the same as 10 to the 312 over 2, which is 10 to the 156, right? So the leading digit would be whatever the leading digit of square root of 7 would be, or 7.77 and so on. And since this is between 2 and 3, the square root of 777 and so on would be, let's say, it starts with 2 and something, something, because this number is between 4 and 9. The square root is between 2 and 3, so it starts with 2, something, something. And when you multiply that with 10 to the 156, you do start with the 2. So f of 2 is 2. Let's keep going. If we take the cube root of 7.77 and so on, times 10 to the 312, we get cube root of 7.7 and so on, times 10 to the 104, right? Because 312 is divisible by 3, so we can do that as well, all right? And at this point, we can see that we need a cube root of something. 2 cubed is 8, so it's actually too big for this. It's going to start with 1. Just 1 point something times 10 to the 104, which means f of 3 is 1. Let's take a look at f of 4 now. The fourth root of this is going to be the fourth root of 7.77 and so on. 312 is again divisible by 4, so it's just 10 to the 312 over 4, which is 7, 8, right? Now that we have this, the leading digit will again be 1, okay? If we look at f of 5, that's the fifth root, and we have, so it's going to be 7.7 and so on, times 10 to the 312. This time, 312 is not divisible by 5, so we have to do a slightly different approach. Luckily, we can just rewrite the scientific notation as 777.777 and so on, times 10 to the 310. And this helps us because now 310 is divisible by 5. So when you take the fifth root, it's going to be fifth root of 777 and so on, times 10 to the 62. The fifth root of 777.7 and so on is between, right? Because we see that 3 to the fifth is 243. 4 to the fifth is 1024. So it's between 3 and 4. So that gives us 3 and something, something. So f of 5 is 3. And finally, f of 6, right? F of 6 is the same thing. So 6th root of 7.7 and so on, times 10 to the, well, 312 is divisible by 6. It is in fact 10 to the, or 312 over 6 is 52. So in fact, we get a 6th root of 7 again, and that starts with 1. So the total sum after we do that is 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1, which is 8a.